There's always the public listing of the basics. What do you cover in first grade? What do you cover in second grade? What do you cover in third grade? But there's no way to know what an individual teacher's core values are unless you spend time in the classroom talking with that teacher, talking with your child about what they did in class, asking questions, spending time delving into how are they feeling, what are they expressing after a day of lessons. If you don't do that, you don't know
You
what
don't
is
know.
happening.
You don't know. There's two questions that I've used for the last 30 years to hire my teams. And the two questions are this, what about success, right? And you could ask it, what about success in the classroom, Miss Teacher, is important to you? And the other question I ask is, what about life is important to you? Why? Because I want to know their values. I want, and it doesn't mean I won't hire somebody if they don't have the right values. But if you listen to somebody's values by asking those two questions, you can start to get a real good feel of what they value and what they value for your child in the classroom. I think we need to, take more. Here's the thing, in Idaho, I have a state senator up there. His name is a former state senator. His name is Stephen Thane. And Stephen has been in the education, pushing bills for education up in Idaho for the last 2 decades. And he just got one through where the children in high school each get a grant. I think it's $4,000 or $5,000, based on some performance they can do. But that's for every kid in the state. Now they're passing, they just passed a bill up there that I think it's 5,000, that if you're homeschooling your children or what have you, they're going to give you, money to the parents, not to the schools. They're going to give it to the parents. So the parents are empowered, and that's what they're trying to do. Put core values back into or support the core values of the parents to teach their children.
Yeah, that argument has gone on quite a while here in South Carolina. They call them school vouchers. They want to be able to pay the parents who don't want their children in the public schools the equivalent of what would be spent on that child in public school. But there's a tremendous pushback against it. So it's done in some counties. A lot of it depends on the budget. A lot of it depends on how much interest is in the parents, because in this fast-paced world where money is in demand, so many parents, both of them work away from home. And so to an extent, the schools have become a babysitter, a service that they provide that they don't have to worry about where their children are going to be after a certain age. They know they're going to be in school. They know the parents won't have to worry about caregivers or won't have to stay at home with them. And if they need both incomes in the school, or if they're single parents, they don't have that choice to be homeschoolers, to instill their own values. So they have to trust the public education system. And in a lot of cases, perhaps that's been misplaced.